Hi everybody, it's Stuart here from Hub Forex. Welcome to our US update for Wednesday the 30th of January. Obviously it's Fed day, no expectation of a rate rise tonight, but dovish comments and dovish, from a dovish statement is what the market is expecting. We just had some really strong ADP numbers that came in at 213,000, much better than the market was expecting, and Euro has been gaining rolling over a wee bit for most of the day. As I say, a bit volatile here, hanging on to the pivot point, crashed down and broken through, and we're at 114.10. So it had been holding 114.20 zone quite nicely, but now we've tipped down on that strong ADP number right into S1, and it seems to be stuck there currently as a key support. S2 comes in here at the psychological 114. S2 comes in below 114, but there's support here, the 200 period and the psychological 114 area. Currently, I say S2's down here at 113.80, 90, sort of 89, 90 zone. Dollar moved very nicely against the yen as well here, again, sort of hanging around the 200 period and the pivot point for most of the day. ADP's helped that tick up quite strongly. The equity markets in the US have opened very strongly as well. Apple's kept those gains we'd seen in the after hours market yesterday. It was up 5% on the open. Apple back over 160. On a big growth in their services business. Aussie, on the other hand, we struggled with 72 all day, just couldn't break it, and again it's followed that down, and that's looking to move down now, having had a strong overnight session from a good inflation data. So Aussie coming over as well. Most of the dollar crosses in line. The cable rate continues to slip down. Moved up this morning into its pivot, and then it's drifted down again and moved down again in the last hour or so. 136, what's that? 136.70 zone is a bit of a support area under the pivot, but key support now as these Bollinger Bands start to contract here, so we've gone sideways all day, is the 200 period here at 130.50, and then support is down here at 130.15. So holding 130 quite okay at the moment, but pressure to the downside ahead of the Fed. As I say, equities open very strongly, helped by obviously by the Apple news in particular. Lots of reports today. Remember, we've got Facebook, Tesla, McDonald's, Microsoft, a whole raft of companies today as well, right in the thick of the earnings season. So as far as equity markets are concerned, on the higher time frames, we're still relatively well bid from this break over the 20 period at the beginning of January and the 7th. So it's had a relatively okay January bounce from the very hard sell-off we had in December in particular, and the fourth quarter in general. So key 200 period here at 2.7 for the 500 USA 500 here up on the daily time frame. So we're back down to the daily intraday stuff, and gold, like other crosses against the dollar, has weakened a wee bit. Again, ran very nicely, nice strong run yesterday and into today, into that key 13.15. As I mentioned on the Facebook post this morning, probably lots of profit takers at this key psychological level 13.15, and that's been the case. We've rolled down, and indeed it triggered short here in at 3 o'clock. Having, if you'd followed the as part 3 of the crossing EMA strategy, you'd have entered here. First target would have been about here, and then the third, the trend would have kept you in until we closed underneath the 9 period moving average, which would have been here at lunchtime at around 13.10. So a good strong 1,000 pips there, $10 on that move up there on that part 2 or part 3, I should say. Take target 2 strategy for our crossing EMA strategy. Let me finish with oil. Oil's rallied and continued to rally. We've obviously got inventories later on today. We're poked through $54 again in the last hour. So inventories expected to show a gain of 3 million barrels. So 8 million barrels, remember, last week. So watch that for any outcome for the oil price. Resistance is now 54.15, so just over that 54 level, and a pivot is down here at this key $53 level. So key support there again. Bottom of the Bollinger Band and the 200 period is sort of coming up to support it there at about 52.75 zone, so 25 cent support zone there around the pivot point there, but 54 being breached so far today. So trade carefully, watch those earnings reports. We've got pending home sales in the next few moments as well, so might add to that dollar bid into the Fed, but obviously all eyes on the Fed and Jay Powell's press conference later on. So trade carefully. We'll see you all again tomorrow. All the very best. Bye bye.